Sorry this July budget review video is so late. I don't know why, I just haven't felt like making it. Partially because my finances are all over the place the last couple of months. That in the midst of trying to have like the best summer of my life, so things have been scattered. I've been scattered. Also, I knew I spent a lot of money this month and it wasn't excited to share that. I told you guys I was on a low buy year, and I still am, like material item wise, but I've been going pretty heavy with experiences this summer because I just needed a breather, and I've been in that phase, and so I'm hesitant to share this. But it's interesting because deciding to share every bit of my first personal finance life on YouTube for the last like 3.5 years now, obviously it opens me up to a lot of scrutiny and opinions, buttholes, if you will, but it also helps hold me accountable, and I like that aspect of it. It was so great for my heart and my head and my everything, just not my wallet. So here's my Google sheet of July. It's pretty same as always, with the exception of this debt category. I have made some changes here. I was tracking like a goal that I was setting aside for student loans for the year, setting aside or paying on, now that we're in the year of paying on them again. But I'm not going into all the life changes I've been making lately. You guys already know. So we'll just skip all that. It just looks differently. I'm not even entirely sure this is how I want this set up. We're just starting at the top like we always do with income. And my biggest income at the moment is my W-2 income. And this amount that I'm sharing with you is my take-home pay. So I do contribute to a 401k up to a company match, and I contribute to an HSA, and I have medical, dental, and vision insurance that are all taken out. So this is my income after all of those items are deducted. And taxes, of course. I have a goal of $4,050 take-home pay every month. I actually brought home $4,055. It's going to be slightly lower for August because I actually signed up for commuter benefits or whatever. It's just setting money aside tax-free into my HSA to use for mass transit and parking and things like that associated with being a commuter, which is kind of funny because I now have a new supervisor who says I don't ever have to go into the office ever again if I don't feel like it, so I'm probably going to cancel that. Next income is my one rental property. It typically brings in $448.70 per month, so that is rent minus property management fee minus the mortgage, like you can see in this note. That's not pure cash flow. You should be saving for repairs, vacancy, things like that, but I'm saving 100% of that to save up for a down payment. However, July, as you guys are aware, was a bit expensive because I replaced the HVAC unit and the furnace, like the whole heating cooling system in the house with the exception of the ductwork, and that cost me $6,500. So that definitely ate into my cash flow. To the tune of $6,051 if you subtract out the rent, which I pulled from savings that I had been previously saving for student loans, just because I didn't want to pull from my real estate savings. So even how I actually have it on the spreadsheet is, it's a little wonky, but it's close enough. And then my next income is YouTube. I just have a goal of trying to hit the $100 payout threshold every month, and thank you, Carol. She always comes in at the last minute with those super thanks, and bless your heart. In July, my YouTube income was $102.66, and I think I put all of that to the fund, if I remember correctly. And then support, I have no goal for. I just put it on here because some of you have decided to support me with your own money, and that's mind-blowing to me and amazing. So thank you guys so much. The amount for July was $550, and I just tracked that by the different Transfer Tuesdays of the month. And I believe I put at least most of that in the fund in July as well, just to round that out, which we did. We'll talk about that in a second. So of course, overall, a total negative just because of the HVAC unit. Moving down to expenses, my largest expense, like it is for most people, is my housing. I pay $15.25 a month in rent. Electric bill, I had been budgeting $80. It was $97.60 this month. It's going to be a heck of a lot higher for August since Mr. Pepe is allergic to the air outside. And we need to leave everything shut. AC's running, HEPA filter going. So, it's going to be a big one next month. Internet's $59.99. Mohila is my federal student loan payment, which is still zero for a little bit longer. Gym, $15 a month. Netflix, $20. Food/household. I did change that category because recently I was like, oh yeah, I've been calling everything groceries, and yet household things factor into that quite a bit. So it's technically both, but I'm still leaving them as a combined category at $500 budget. And I actually spent $539.13. Previous months I would explain that, but I don't know, guys. I've been bopping all over the place. Not even really eating out, just bopping around. I don't know. Gas and car wash, $230, $39, $80 over budget. Whatever. I'm driving all over the place, and it's not going to be going on forever. So pet supplies, $25. I'm changing that going forward, but I actually spent $0 in July. Invest. Guys, what happened? I upped my investing budget to $200, and I totally forgot to do that in July. I don't know. Not a big deal. Donate, $50. I did donate. I shared on the Transfer Tuesday when I did that. Savings, I was hoping to save $800. I saved $470. And again, I just broke that down by Transfer Tuesdays. Not what I was hoping for, but still, after you see the next two categories, it's kind of a miracle I saved anything. Spending. So $300 has been my budget for the year. Here's the part. I don't want to say I'm ashamed that I went over budget, because that's not the right feeling. Like, if I feel guilty about it, and I don't want to tell you guys, but I shouldn't feel shame about spending my own money on intentional choices. But I went over budget, and that sucks. I was doing so good, but things happen, and I'm sick of not capping myself. I'm still going to try to stick to $300 a month in personal spending on material things for the rest of the year. But in July, I spent $428. Not terrible, but not great. Really, the biggest purchase I made was the solar charger, which is just like a solar charging battery pack, a Jackery, if you've heard of them, which I bought for camping, so I can plug things in, charge things, whatever, as I need to, and I don't have to worry about not having outlets, because I've not had outlets at the few campsites I've been to this year, which is kind of interesting. That was a pretty big expense, and I did buy some clothes. I don't love that I bought clothes, but sometimes you gotta do that, and sometimes you wake up one day and hate your entire wardrobe, and you deal with it. You replace a few things, but you deal with it. And I bought some new sunglasses. Other. Yep, it was a bad month for the other category. Not even bad. Again, I don't like to use these negative words. It was a fun month in the other category. Let's call it that. As you can see from the note, I spent quite a bit on concerts and festivals and the things that go along with that, like parking and camping. Camping, $300. That was 6 nights. That's pretty dang good, and a heck of a lot better than a hotel room. So that's nice, and I love camping, so it's kind of like a 2 for 1, those music festivals when you're there for the weekend, and camping. Yes, that's right up my alley. It's been amazing. It's been such a blast. And of course, some of this wasn't just festivals in July. I am going to one this weekend, actually, and then I have one more at the end of August. It's not all like I'm just spending all that money for things in July. I'm buying them for August and September as well. In fact, I even have concert tickets out until November, so some of that concert ticket price is spread out over months, And I spent a good chunk on getting my car oil changed, as well as window shields, those like rain guards or whatever you want to call them that go over your windows. That was also for camping because I do car camping as well. And so I'm sleeping in my car. You have to have the windows cracked. Well, if you're like the rest of us here in New England, where it's just raining constantly, you can't have rain coming in all night while you're trying to sleep. So those were a camping and adventure investment for me in the future. And then $58 on art. If y'all remember my purple mushroom made out of seashells and stones, worth every penny. Overall, a really expensive month, but it's okay. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having my breather from insane intensity with debt payoff, and I'm just having a moment. I'm having a timeout. I'm enjoying freedom from my last shitty job, and I'm feeling the need for that subsiding. So, as I've mentioned before, it's not always going to be like this. I'm getting it out of my system, if you will. But the exciting part is, in July, we wrapped up that fund. We started the month with $810 in there, and we ended fully locked and loaded at $2,000. Thank you guys. You guys were instrumental in that. Thank you in all of this. Thank you guys so much. So much. Oh, man. So I've got a fully locked and loaded emergency fund, car, vet, and medical, annual expenses, and fun. Yes. And if you guys have watched the last couple Transfer Tuesdays, you know I've been struggling, trying to figure out what do I want to do with my money going forward. So I am going to be doing a big finance update, like I mentioned at the beginning, just because my net worth has changed drastically and not necessarily for the better. But we're going to talk about it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.